It has been a really long time since I have filmed regularly or written regularly, and this week it is time to get back into it and time to get ready to publish my third book. In the last few weeks, I feel like I have closed multiple chapters of my life, and that's kind of part of the reason why I've been absent from YouTube, because I just haven't had time to do anything else, and I've been feeling really depleted. But now it's a new chapter, a new page, a new year, a time for a new start, so let's get into it. In 3 days, it will actually be the 1-year anniversary of my final shift as a physio. Last year, I sold my physio practice in Sydney, and I had to work for a few weeks afterwards as a kind of contractual obligation as part of the sale. And then at the end of January, I did my last shift, and then I packed up my house and moved 3 hours south of Sydney to Jervis Bay. And it's kind of crazy to me that I've had a year off work, because I have no idea how I used to fit work into life. I had hoped by this point, by the end of a year off, that I would have had some big revelation about what I was going to do going forward and have, you know, published multiple books in a year, and instead I published 0. And I just kind of hoped that I would have a little bit more direction and like a full-on plan, and more than anything, a strategy for how I was going to avoid going back to physio as a way to pay my bills. I still don't have that. But what I still have that is as firm as it was then is the inclination to never go back. I mean, realistically, I'm probably going to have to at some point, because I have to pay my bills. We all have to have money to buy groceries and pay our bills. And sometimes that involves doing work that does not make the heart sore. And it just kind of looks like that's the path that is coming my way at some point. It has been not the easiest of 12 months, and my burnout was way more severe than I realized. And it just takes time to get over these things, and you have to give yourself a breather, and you have to give yourself space to kind of get over them. But I still hoped that I would at least have an answer to the "so what are you going to do to pay the bills?" question, and I still don't have that answer. One of the other reasons why I feel like I haven't really progressed much in terms of what I had hoped to achieve in the last year, and it's really a small thing, is that I am still in need of finishing this book. I started this book just before Australia Day last year, and it was Australia Day again yesterday, and I still haven't finished. And I'd only read a little bit of this because I packed up and moved 10 days after I finished working 4 days after Australia Day last year. And I've just moved again. So I have really bad timing with trying to read this in line with Australia Day. And there's been a lot of life lately. So not only have I just moved and I haven't finished unpacking, and this room and many others are still in chaos, I am still dealing with my ex-landlord, who it's best that things aren't said, but that was a very stressful place to live and a very stressful situation, and I'm glad to be physically removed from it, even if it's not over yet. So I'm in a new place, still dealing with the old place, and 3 days after I moved into this place, I picked up my rescue pup, Raphael, and so I have been doing toilet training and things like that, and he has been unwell and is wearing the cone of shame because he's just been desexed, and he's been getting up before sunrise, and I am not a morning person at all. And so I've been up very, very early and trying to toilet train him and play with him to get some of the beans out, because he wakes up full of beans, and we've been trying to work on like him being able to stay home alone. which has been a bit of a mixed bag, and the vacuum cleaner has copped the brunt of his dislike of being left home alone. But basically with all that chaos, I haven't had time to read or to write. All my stuff is in boxes, so even if I wanted to read and write, like, I would have to find the book in the box, which could be anywhere, because the removalists found labels tricky to read. And we've just been zipping up and down to Sydney for desexing and my stitches and his stitches, and it's just been bonkers this last 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm probably sleeping an average of 4 to 5 hours a night, and I'm exhausted. But I'm very, very hopeful that this week we can get into reading and settle into the house and finish unpacking and get his stitches out, get my stitches out. I've got to also get the final part of my root canal to treat the dental negligence abscess thing that happened last year. That was fun too. And I want to get to writing again this week. I would like to have started doing something. And I would actually like to do something about my author website, which I haven't done anything about in probably a year. I think I had a blog post written and ready to go, and I was waiting until I had walked away from the clinic to press publish because I was terrified of doing anything that would compromise the sale and then it not going through and then being held captive somewhere I desperately didn't want to be. And I think I forgot to press publish on that, and I don't think I've been back to that website since. So the reality is that I need to do something about that website because my marketing so far for the Phoenix series has been pretty non-existent, which I'm not really that worried about. I wasn't really going to put a lot of effort into it until I had multiple books out. So for readers to actually get into the series, rather than trying to spend a bunch of money advertising one book and then it being a year before the next one come out, which is what happened. But for right now, for today, I'm going to be applying copious amounts of cream onto my sunburn from yesterday. And then I need to get this room set up. This is going to be my office and my hopefully filming location. It is the brightest room. It also has a nice ocean view, which is, I mean, the ocean view is like this big, but still, it's ocean. So I just need to get this set up so I can use it, so I can write, so I can film, so I can just be more organized. And then I need to try and vacuum when Rafa is outside playing so he doesn't kill the vacuum cleaner. And get ready because tomorrow I'm out in the sun again with the wombats. So I need to calm this situation down as much as possible before I have to spend 4 or 5 hours in the sun tomorrow, because I'm doing the wombats twice in the next 4 days to help cover, and I haven't done it in a little while. So it'll be really nice to see the little wombly wombats and see how they're doing. They change so much each time I see them, and it's really cool when you go around and clean up their area. I mean, poop patrol is not a lot of fun, but you kind of get to see these new burrows that they've created and how deep they are and how they change over time and how much work these little wombats have put into them and how much time they take. And that's really something that I enjoy doing. The only thing is it's supposed to be really hot again tomorrow, which is unfortunate because that usually means you don't see the wombats as much because they don't like temperatures that are sort of over the low 20s. They really like to stay cool, which is why they're nocturnal. And Sheldon and Snoopy have been off their bottles now for probably about 4 or 5 weeks, which surely means at this point they're gonna stop coming out when you go in to see them. They usually come out and kind of have pats and snuggles and hope somewhere in your pocket is a little bottle. So I might not get Sheldon and Snoopy cuddles, and they're my fave. But cheeseburger fries and Molly still are all on the bottle, and Wally and Arnie are still, last I heard, together. and they're still on the bottle because they're quite small, but they were bitey last time I saw them. So hopefully that has changed. It's been a few weeks, but it'll be nice to see the little wombly wombats tomorrow. But today is all about nursing my sunburn and getting this house unpacked, finally. The last 2 hours I actually sat down to try and write, but instead I spent those 2 hours trying to get Microsoft Word to work on this computer. I have a valid subscription, it works on my laptop. I just can't get it to consistently work on this computer, so I mean, I don't really use this for that much, so I think I'm just going to give up on it and restore factory settings and then see if it works better after that, or restore factory settings and sell it, because I am sick of this computer and I don't really use it that often anyway. So it's a colossal waste of 2 hours and I'm kind of over it. So I am going to go and mow the lawn. What are you crying about, buddy? You're the one that was given a pig's ear while I was out mowing and then climbed on top of the kitchen table. Yes, that was you. And then you went into the office and climbed on the table there and ate some chocolate bullets. What do you have to say for yourself, mischief monster? Hey? That's very naughty. It is very naughty. No wonder I feel overwhelmed. Second emergency vet appointment in under a week. So this is another after hours visit. This time for chocolate consumption due to a rampage while I was mowing the lawn. He got up on the table, helped himself. I don't even know how. So he is off vomiting somewhere right now, hopefully. Oh, Papa.